I don't condone smoking, by the way. I need to give up. A day in the life of me. Most people know within my friends group that I've had mental health issues for many years. There were reasons for it. I'm not going to go fully into it. Those who know, know. Yesterday I went to my grandmother's and I haven't seen her since Christmas. Correction, I haven't seen her since her birthday, which is the 21st of December. I didn't see her at Christmas due to COVID rules, etc. I didn't go in the house. I passed on what I had and left it at that. Yesterday I went round, spoke with her. I actually went in for the house for the first time. I helped her all day. She's recovering from cancer and she's taking medication, cocodamol, and we had chats and she says she had some medication delivered which I received at the front door, and the doctor prescribed her with morphine of a type, Brandon. We didn't technically understand why the doctor had changed the medication, so I helped her out. We rang the doctors up and said, why has she got this medication? Then they explained that she no longer needed to take the cocodamol, and then she was moving on to the morphine. I've closed my door. Eventually we sorted everything out and basically we understood what was going on, that she's got to take 2 tablets in the morning, 2 tablets in the evening with a 12-hour gap. So 7 in the morning when she wakes up with the carers, and 7 p.m. when she first started taking it yesterday evening when she went to bed. I rang her the next morning at 10 o'clock this morning and she was fine. She didn't sound fine and she was complaining because she said, I've had the best night's sleep ever, but I just feel rotten. You know, who's going to knock you for 6, especially at her age. Obviously the cancer treatment has been successful. That's well and good. If she didn't have it, well, I'm not going to go there. Anyway, I helped her out again as much as I could, because on the previous day I want her to have her independence, but she doesn't see many people, family, etc. That's it. I don't know. I know my uncle goes round, both my uncles go round. Sometimes my dad does, who technically I don't really know. And yesterday was 5 years to the day since I first met my dad, and that I saw my grandfather laying on a bed in his own bedroom, dying of cancer. On that day I walked outside upset because he said something, and I knew he didn't have much time left, and I walked outside the front of his bungalow. My sister was there at the time, and that was the first time I met her, and basically walked outside in tears to her having the words said, Christopher, that was my father. So it was 2 blows in one go. My grandfather with cancer, and the first verbal words I'd ever heard from my dad. Introduced ourselves, introduced myself, and turned around and said, I think it'd feel it's best if I best call you by your name, which is Stephen. And we kept it as civil as possible, which I would for my granddad's sake, because my granddad's dying wishes were that I sorted things out with him and he sorted things out with me. I kept my promise to him. I've had to close the door because there's a nosy neighbour across the road who, quite frankly, I couldn't care was there or not. She does my fucking head in. That's my mother, by the way. I've had 20 years of mental health issues, and a lot of it's down to family situations. No family's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. The reason I'm doing this video is because, well, one of my best mates, I turned around and said to him in the last hour or so, I should really do a film of the state of my house because I'm letting things go. I'm too busy doing other things. I'm too busy trying to sort cars out. I'm too busy trying to keep others happy because that's how I am. I always want to help others rather than myself. And if someone's short of money, I'll loan them it. Or someone needs help, I'll help them. Everybody's got problems. Right now, a lot of people I know have major issues. And some days, one of my friends has been in hospital for an operation. I'm not going to say his name. But you've got to look at things and say to yourself, well, I know I've had a shit life at times, but there's always someone worse off than yourself. I'm just rambling on, but I'm sorry, that's my mental health. I'm tired, I'm stressed, I've got bipolar, and I'm trying to do something about it. Brief meltdown, man. Best put some sunglasses on. Yeah, crazy. Brief meltdown there. It doesn't happen often, but it happens, and sometimes it's easier to do that. And have time to yourself and sort your head out. So I'm now popping the happy pills because that's something I have to do. I've just taken some of these, which is a mood stabilising drug. It's called, Epinephrine Chrono. You can see there, they are being taken. It's also used for epilepsy. Now, I've been to my doctor's today to pick up a prescription. I got another bag of it here. That's prescriptions for my diabetes, which is brilliantly improved. My doctors are backing me, and they turned around and said, excellent. It's not perfect. I maybe could do with losing a bit of the salad, so a bit of a stone of weight because I'm a bit of a salad dodger. Right, a BMI. But nobody's perfect, are they? My cholesterol's down, my blood pressure's down. That's through what? These are other drugs that I have to take to keep my health going. This stuff is called quetiapine. It makes me sleep. It chills me out. Unfortunately, I ran out yesterday because bank holiday screwed me over, and I forgot because I was doing other things. I picked these up today, and if I didn't have it, I'll be fucked right now. Excuse my language. Right, there's another proof that I'm taking drugs. Medical drugs, not drugs that send you high as a kite. Don't get me wrong, they are fucking wicked, but you do them when you're 16 and 17, they fry your brains. Bit of weed's the same, do you know what I mean? It fucks your head up. You want to take drugs, I'm fine, but I can't take them because I'm on happy pills that are free and legal from life. I don't believe in God, but at the end of the day, he's been very generous to me because I can be the most fun person in the world for, say, 7, 8 months of the year. And then the other 4, I can be depressed like the devil's inside me. But as you can see there, I've just taken my medication. I can do with eating, but technically I'll do that later, like 1 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock. I've got to get a good night's sleep because it's mate's birthday tomorrow. So there's something fun to do. Now I've had a really good day, but after dealing with my grandmother yesterday, it's brought back a lot of memories, and I've discussed a lot of things with her yesterday afternoon about my life, her life, my granddad's life on both sides of the family, and situations that have happened in life. The immaturity of my mother and the immaturity of my father, that I didn't get to meet my half brother and sister. Some people say, why don't I talk to my mum about this? I can't. I can talk to a counsellor. I can discuss anything with my closest of friends and allies. I've got friends in Manchester. She's like a sister to me. I've had an adopted cousin for God knows how many years. She was amazing. Unfortunately, she has her own situations and problems with that I can't solve. And when I get the blame for them, when it's not my fault, I have to get rid of people. I can't have someone shouting at me or having a go because it's just not on. And I'm not there to be blamed for their own actions. It's very easy to go, it's all your fault, you've got bipolar. That's not an insult to me. I couldn't give a shit what anyone thinks. Mental health isn't easy. It's not easy for anyone. There's more than bipolar that's a problem. I'd love to write a book about it, my life experiences, but it's far easier to put it on video on YouTube and then post it on there so my friends or people anywhere can sort of like listen to me chat crap, I'm not going to swear, about what goes on in life. People have got autism. They're far worse off than I am. I've got friends that suffer from depression due to the COVID that's going on. I've got other people I've known of who whinge because they can't go to the gym, then they've got anxiety and depression, but yet they get up every morning and go to a job. They've got a van, they've got a roof over their head. They're successful in life. They've got family who adore them. They may well live on their own and they have their own son who would think the world of them. He's got something to live for. Most of my teenage years was spent, let's say I left school. I was never popular at school. Don't get me wrong, I've got skills. There's a guitar there. I learned to play guitar, but that was through another previous experience in my life, and I can't be so more grateful for that person for what he taught me. I'm not going to say who it is. He taught me how to read. He made time for me. I respect that man. And he helped me out. It wasn't forever. The situations will happen in life, unfortunately. And I still do talk to them, but not as much as I would like to. I'm not going to go into it. I'm saying so many things on this video. It's like I've got 1,001 things going on. Smoking too many fags. But alcohol just doesn't do it for me unless I'm with other people. And don't get me wrong, every once in a while it's alright, you can get pissed and you can have fun. And I enjoy the company of other people. This is me at the moment, stressed out. I'm trying to explain things, but it's not working. And yet again, someone's messaged me or someone's just done something. Yeah, Facebook, inbox message. I ain't got time for messages at the minute. I've got a hole outside. My house is a fucking shit tip because I've been going out everywhere. Look at this, car parts in the corner. aisle in a box, alternators, shit all over my table, crap in the corner, lights and drill pieces, guitars, whatever. It's all material items I don't really fucking need. We've got a fucking Henry the Hoover here, he's snorting shit up off the floor. Not coke, I ain't got any of that. Kitchen's a shit hole. It's not big enough for me. But I deal with it. I am what I am and I've got what I've got. Over the last 20 plus years, I've worked hard to get myself into a better place in life. I've had many jobs, I've got many skills, and I'm very talented. It just hasn't happened for me. I haven't had the silver spoon passed on to me, and the chances of having life have been slim, because as soon as you get a job with an employer, they get rid of you after about 2 years of your time, or you do 6 months work for them and your health gets so bad that you have to quit your job and go back onto the sick again. I just want a normal life. I did this video for my best friend. I call him my best friend because he's always been there. Well, he hasn't always been there, but I've known him since I was young. And I got him and his wife together. No disrespect to other people who know me. I've got other close friends who are like family. Well, another family in Manchester that I call them my adopted family, even though they're not. And they're brilliant, especially my sister, my adopted sister. I've got another family in town. They're not my family, but they feel like it. My own family, I respect my grandparents on both sides, and they haven't got much time left, what's left of them. My granddad's ill. My grandma's stable but ill. But realistically speaking, she's probably waiting to pass on to the other side to go to my grandfather, whose ashes are on the side of a table next to her. And as I say, I lost my grandfather 5 years ago, roughly. I met my dad at the same time. Hence why this week's a little hot. It's supposed to be about mental health and life, this is. But it is. It's basically my mental health is a little fucked up at the moment, and I can deal with it. But I also need time out. I've got a garden outside, small. I've got decent neighbours, mostly. And I've got a pain in the arse family member who lives on the opposite side of this road and has moved into the area to be closer to me because she neglected me when I was younger. You can give someone money to look after them. I was looked after by my grandparents. There was arguments, there was this, that and the other that happened, and I'm not going to go fully into that. They did a good job. It wasn't easy. But the situations I've been in life has led to me, partly, the situations I've had in life have led to me having bipolar. Like 2 parts of my brain in the back. There's one that's working properly and one doesn't work so well. So it doesn't balance out. So I might be really happy 1 minute, and then I'll go for a period, it's not too bad at the minute, I go for a period of the year when, like, winter months, I'm depressed and I won't talk to anyone. I just lock myself away apart from my closest friends. Again, if I'm in problems, I can go and see them and go and chill out and just switch off for the winter months, straight from the end of October all the way to the start of March. When we get to March, things start improving and I get active again. I get out into the open world. I love life because I've got to love life. I can be the life and soul of the party. There's been many a times where I've been at a point where I've been locked in a room in a mental health unit and I wouldn't talk to anyone, and it felt like months. Don't get me wrong, this was like, don't know, 15, 20 odd years ago. I don't know, I can't actually remember. Or I remember 1 or 2 people coming to see me. Old friends. One friend I won't mention again, is an electrician. He's done well for himself in life. He's doing all right. I don't see him very often, but when I do, he's all right. I respect him for what he's done. He's got a daughter. A very talented guy. No names mentioned. Sometimes you've been a bit of a twat, but isn't everyone? But at least he made the effort to actually come and see me at a mental health unit, even though at the time I was hiding away in a room and didn't wish to see anyone. Sorry about that, mate. But at the time it's hard to sort of get my head around things, and all. I didn't want to see anyone. I've been in a mental health unit in this country 3 times. I've been in a mental health unit in a foreign country. In the last 10 years, I've probably not been in a mental health unit at home, because now what happens is people assess you in your own home, and you have a CPN, a counsellor, who pops around and sees how you are. And mine, the one I've got at the minute, is absolutely damn right amazing. I can't fault the guy. He's learned more from me than I have from him. But we've been through so much together, it's like I've got a very special guardian angel best friend. I can't fault the guy. He's not always right. He's made mistakes. But I've taught him a lot about his job and how to do his job. And he's turned around and said to me, I either should be a peer support worker or a CPN. I'd love to, but I've got to go out and get the qualifications, and working on £17,500 starting pay and travelling probably 100, 200 fucking miles a day. I don't know. You know, I've got to travel 50 miles just to get to the job. It's not really financially viable when I've got to go around to people's houses in my own car and the job's not paying enough. You need to be on a good wage. And the mental health services has been screwed by the government. No, I'm not faulting, you know, the Conservatives. I'm not really bothered about politics, and I don't really wish to turn the TV on in a minute due to COVID. COVID has screwed a lot of people's lives over if you've even caught COVID. I know of one person who recently, well, I'm not going to say names again, they work within mental health, and they've basically, from what I can gather, they've got COVID, they've had to stop working and take on a part-time job. Now they're sort of better, and they've had a long COVID. So you all know what goes on with long COVID. I'm not going to go any further. But they're sort of rebuilding their life again, from what I can gather. I don't know full story, but it's not for me to talk about. So when you feel you've got a problem, mentally or any other how, always look to someone else and think, look at yourself in the mirror and go, look, I know you've got problems, but there's always someone else out there who's got worse problems than yourself. That's the way I look at it. I could have a leg missing or something like that. I could be dead, which, to be fair, at times in my life, I've tried once to commit suicide. I attempted it. Not that anybody would have known. I was very young at the time. Voices in head, acute paranoia. It wasn't schizophrenia as I was wrongly diagnosed with, it was bipolar. I wouldn't want to be a schizophrenic, that's for sure. I feel for them. Probably wondering why I've got car parts all around me. For those who know, I just muck about with Mark II Golfs, Mark III Golfs, anything Volkswagen, blah, 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 blah. And I ran my own business for 4 years, which technically failed because I got too stressed. And situations happened at the same time that put me in a bad position. Not that it's everybody else's fault, it's my fault. And one individual who was supposed to be a friend who created problems for me. When a friend creates me problems, or a person creates me problems and makes me feel ill and gets me stressed, I have to remove those said people out of my life. My sister knows who it is, my adopted one. Some others may know who it is. I'm not going to slag him off. There's no point, because that's in the past. All I know is that this day, He had a knee injury when I knew him, and someone else has told me, but it's none of my business, that he's now in a wheelchair because he's had some brain problem. Well, he didn't really have a brain in the first place, so I don't know how that worked. But he's now in a bad way in his health-wise, and he didn't look after himself as he smoked endlessly, got stressed endlessly, thought more about making a business up and spending far too much money on a business to set up, and then fell ill and pulled out of his workshop, which potentially put me in a bad position and also put someone else in a bad position. There's more to it than this, and I know it. But I made my apologies, and that said person, who was my best friend, put me in a bad way. You can tell right now I've got plenty of fucking anger issues. Not many see me like this. Usually I sit and play a guitar and try and chill out, but I haven't even touched that for months. I used to be very talented. As you can tell right now, I've got endless things going around in my head, and I'm trying to help other people around me. Sometimes I'm not faulting those people who I'm helping. Trust me, I love doing it. I love putting others before myself, and I love helping people. So if I offer it, just let me do it, because it makes me feel better, because I'm giving back. It's not about money. Money is nothing. Material items, it means nothing, because you can have everything in life and still not be happy. I've got what I need. I've got a roof over my head. I've got shelter. I've got somewhere to sleep. It's not if you've got a £500,000 house, you can still not be happy. If you've got 2 million in the bank and you've won the national lottery and you've got like Z amount of money, zillions of money, it still doesn't mean you're happy. I could quite happily have the shirt on my back and food in my mouth and a roof over my head and be on the minimal stuff I've got. And I've had nothing on nothing. I've been homeless at one point, and like I say, I had this shirt and like clothes. I was stuck in a foreign country, and I was seriously unwell. I'm sorry that I'm jumping from subject to subject, but this is bipolar. This is a side that not all most see when I'm not well. But they also don't see the depressive side, where I hide myself away for probably 4 months of the year and I just shut my mouth and I don't say anything at all. I don't say anything on Facebook. I'd only communicate with my closest friends. When you 5 fingers and thumb. Fortunately, I've got a good set of neighbours. Just a shame mother's moved in diagonally across the road, because ever since that's happened, I don't want to live here anymore. Today, I yet again helped my grandmother by ringing her up in the morning. I've already said this. I don't know why I'm going over it before. I rang her up. She's now on morphine. The morphine was taken last night and made her go, whoa. I didn't tell her it was going to overpower her, but she had the best night's sleep ever. Her carers were supposed to arrive at 9 o'clock. I rang her at 10 o'clock. They hadn't been. They didn't turn up. My dad, who I hardly know at all, I've only met 3 or 4 times, he was there in the morning at 7:30. Gave her a hand. Nice one. I don't like it. If you're going to ignore me, then I'm not bothered. But I'll always say hello, and I'll always blank it. I don't know. I just really don't know. You are half of the reason my life is screwed up. My mother is the other half of the reason that I'm screwed up. And I've got so much hatred towards you because I've made my peace with you, my father. But you're not. You're nothing like my grandfather. I've got plenty of respect from my grandfather who passed away. My grandparents on both sides of my family are my dad and my mother, because they brought me up. My own parents, I could easily remove from my life totally. My mother's financially paved my way as best as she can while she's gone out and gone to work and left me with my grandparents. Fine, not a problem. But then expects to have a relationship with me now and tries to control me. Today she turned around and after my grandmother phoned her and said, I think Chris is trying to mess about with my medication. I was advising what the medication would do. My grandma may not have said this. I was offering to help with said medication, and I would never force anyone to change their medication or whatever else. Your own medication is yours to do with whatever with. I can only advise. I cannot tell you what to do. I went to my doctor this morning, or should I say pharmacist, and I asked for my own medication, which I've just taken to chill me out and put me to sleep and stop the upset of how my day has been and how my week has been. And I will calm down. But when someone, well, my grandmother phoned my mother and said, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to do the other. I'm just trying to help my grandmother get through the day. My mum may well have lied. My mum turned around and said to me today, are you taking your medication? Now, there's one thing you do not say to someone else with mental health issues. Are you taking your medication? All my friends, close friends, know I take my meds. All my close friends know me better than my own mother. I have a support network of a community practitioner nurse who's like a friend. I have a support network of a sister who's adopted, well, I classed as my Mank adopted sister up in Manchester, who I met at Download and Two Festival in 2009. I can talk to her about anything, and she's amazing. I can never fall out with that person. She's amazing. I've got neighbours across the road who also, they have their problems, and they've got more problems than what I have at times, if not they've had. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I feel lucky for myself because they've been through some shit in their life, excuse my language. But they still make time for others, and they love to be happy, and they do their best. One of them's complete madhead, but he's there to make us all laugh. And I appreciate that because they look out for me, and I look out for them because that's what you do for your neighbours. But they are friends like family. I've got a mate in Grantham who does cars, and he's got a few issues, but I'm not going to go into that. And I try and help him. It's his birthday tomorrow. He's had a rough upbringing in ways, but he's got a lovely girlfriend, and he's got kids with that girl. She's not a girl, she's a woman, Carl. Shit, I said your name. Shouldn't have done that. But you're doing alright for yourself. Just chill your beans, crack on. I'll help you always, and just keep carrying on. You'll be alright in the end. Life's not easy. You're young still, you've got a whole lifetime ahead of you. You've got plenty of time to achieve what you want to achieve, and you don't have to work at light speed to get things done. And you really have improved. You are doing amazingly well. Just ignore what other people say. Anyone with a negative attitude, just get rid of them. The friends that make out their friends, you don't need them. Someone puts you down, ignore them. If someone really puts you down, remove them from your life, because that's what I do. And then there's sort of like my best friend I class him as my best friend because he has always been there. He knows who he is because I've been on the phone to him about an hour and a half ago. For a good hour. I got him with his girlfriend. Wow, she's just as mad as like he is. But I've known him from like a long period of my life, and he knows what I've been through. I know what he's been through. And I've helped him as well, like he helps me. He's an amazing lad. He's done well for himself. They all know that I take my medication. If I had a problem or there was something wrong with me, all those people who I've mentioned would basically tell me or tell my CPN, one of which would tell my CPN, that if I was unwell or if I needed help. If they had any concerns over my welfare or if I was a danger to someone else, they would turn around and say something to me and they would do something about it. I'm no danger to anyone. The only person I'm a danger to is myself. When you get suicidal thoughts, doesn't mean you're going to act on it. But the whole big issue with me is the fact that I've got a screwed up family life. It's just, my grandparents brilliant on both sides of the family. My auntie wasn't too bad either. She foster cared. But my own parents are absolutely useless. I just got no time for them. And because my own mother today turned around and said, "Are you taking your medication?" which is the biggest insult to me, because she, as a mother, should already know that I'm taking my meds. And this is partly why this video was made. She doesn't know I've got Volkswagen Golfs. She only knows what cars I've got that are on the driveway. Whereas you guys that are watching this now on my Facebook know I've got a lot of secrets going on, vehicle-wise. I don't tell my mother anything. One person asked me in Manchester, why do I hate my mother so much? And the story is far too long to get into. I just want that person removed from my life, because without that person around, it makes things easier. It means no negativity, because all the friends I've got around with me push me to move upwards, onwards and forwards, not back. They don't drag me down. And it's as if I'm a 5-year-old kid who gets given a motorbike for their 5th birthday and Christmas. And I'm like, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm in my 40s. I've got no relationship. I'm not married. I've been careful in life because I wanted to be responsible. And if I was going to have a family, I wanted to be with the right person. And I didn't want to be like my own dad. But there's two sides to every story with that as well. Considering my own mother told my dad not to come anywhere near me. If you use your children to keep a said father, unless he batters crap out of your child or hits you, but do not use your children as a weapon, because if you do, you'll end up with a child that could be like me, a very upset adult. Anyway, let's talk about the positive aspects of life. Well, it's now 11:30 at night, and today I've helped I've helped my grandma in my own way, even though my mum's moaned at me. I've helped someone else out that deserves help, even though she doesn't like accepting things. When you just try and help someone out when they're having a shit time as well, A lot of people are having a shit time this week. But we put a brave face on it and we keep going and pushing. We just smile, grin and bear it, and laugh as much as possible to try and make the world a better place. There's always someone more worse off than yourself. So I've helped them. They just need to learn to accept help and have a bit more confidence in themselves, because they are such a decent person that it's unreal. It's through and through. I've helped my mate out in town who I've recently managed to help him get a job elsewhere from his previous job, which was, he didn't enjoy it. We went somewhere where he did a bit of a sort of expensive shopping trip for some much needed things which will help him within his job, and I sort of made a bargain deal, with a local company, a farming company, which one relation I have works there is very distant and is the wife of my dad. And another relation as I don't see much of now, but is within the farming community, and we are second cousins. Won't name names yet again. And my towny friend is like, it's great out here, it's cheaper. Well, it's not cheaper, but you get better quality tools from this place than you will do in Toolstation. And you can actually view and touch it up if you want to. Yeah, I saw you touching that drill up. Sorry, buzz gun. No, sorry. You know what it is. You were touching them tools up like it was nobody's business. Your eyes was lighting up. If you was a female, you'd be having multiple orgasms with that tool. Am I right? Sorry for my rudeness, people, but that's my dark, funny sense of humour. I won't say it's dark, but it could be. Anyway, we're trying to finish on a positive note, and it's with it being 11:30 at night. I still have had a sandwich for my tea just because I can't be asked to eat, can't be asked to cook, and I've still got to spend the next hour cleaning this up, all the crap out of my room. And I'm now going to tell you the shitstorm that's going on outside in my garden. Well, Emily Hoover's sniffing coke again. No, sorry, it's cleaning powder. You know what I mean? You've all seen Emily Hoover, haven't you? He's on YouTube sniffing coke, and it's funny as front door's open. Right, I'm going to sneak outside, because if the outside light comes on, it goes over to that corner, I'm screwed. Garden shed needs locking. I can't see. Fit some outdoor lighting. Bang on those. He's cheerful, but it does the job. I've got lots of stuff to put away and tidy up. But thanks to my mate, he's helped me a little out today. And the outside lighting is top dollar. I need some thingamajig lights. If anyone's got any Christmas lights or stuff like that, I'm just going to start lighting everything up. It's going to be like Blackpool Tower. Just have a bit more fun. More lights, the better. I also need someone to make me, find me a decent quality CCTV setup, because I've sort of got a camera knocking about, but it's not as good as what I need it for. And I want CCTV at my house. I also do with a locksmith, so I can change my locks on the front door. So I've also got 3 keys, 1 key for myself, 1 key I can leave with my neighbour across the road who's decent, and basically leave a key with someone else if they want to be my guest. Whoever the guest is in future, I haven't got a clue. No clue at all. But you know what I mean? Rather than my mum have a key for my own house, so the fucking washing fucking goes missing and disappears. I call it the magic fairy. Like, you'll come in my house and I'll go out within half an hour, or even less. It can be 2 minutes. I can come back within half an hour and I found that there's washing machines on in the daytime. There's clothes missing out of my house. They've probably been washed 5 fucking times beforehand, and she's just like her own fucking mother. She pisses me off. I'm quite capable of looking after myself, my house, my belongings, everything. And I'm telling you now, if she doesn't pack the fuck up, I'm sorry for my language, it shouldn't really on YouTube, I will be moving out of this house. I will be selling all my items that are just materialistic pieces of shite on to whoever who wants them. I've got Mark 2 Golfs, Leon, I've also got a T4, you name it, anything Volkswagen I've got. If my mum causes me any more bother, I'll be even selling an electric guitar that's upstairs. It's a Gibson ES335 if I have to. So it's 1980. I will sell that to someone. I will just sell everything up and I will just fuck off because I've had enough. I knew I should have just fucking moved to Manchester when I first met my friend up there. At least it would have been a lot more fucking peaceful. And you northerners up there, you're fucking excellent. I've got to say sorry because I'm swearing, and I never swear. I do. We all do. But I just wanna. I feel like I'm gonna explode. Anyway, I've done 45 minutes of this, and I don't think most people have got time to watch 45 minutes, so I'm going to shut up, sign off, and I might make another video another night when I'm in a bit better mood. Anyway, in a bizzle. I don't like saying that because it's a bit chav, but see you later. Have a nice evening. Welcome to my world.